Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
This has been a great homestand for the Phillies. What was successful against the Rockies carried over to the Miami Marlins. In Game 1, it was Kyle Kendrick who had the magic going. In fact, he didn't allow a hit through the first 5 innings of the ballgame, and he struck out a career-high 8 batters, including Greg Dobbs there. He gave way to the bullpen, but not before Dominic Brown's 2-run home run, and Michael Martinez, who scored on a wild pitch, gave the Phils enough of a cushion to then burden the bullpen. Antonio Bastardo for the resting Jonathan Papelbon got the final out, and the Phillies had taken game number 1. Now game number 2, a little different story. Jimmy Rollins got some new life. In fact, he had 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs in the ball game. After a drop pop-up, he was able to hit that home run to give the Phils a comfortable lead. And then Philippe Aumont, when the lead was not comfortable anymore, came in to get 2 huge strikeouts, including Jose Reyes with a splitter. And then in the 9th inning, it was Jonathan Papelbon who was fired at 95 miles an hour and then came back with this split to get Greg Dobbs. And the Phillies had won their 6th consecutive game, and they pulled to within 4 games of the wild card. And now they're looking to sweep out the homestand back to 500 as they take on the Miami Marlins. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Yeah, this has been a heck of a run for the Phils during the month of September, even the back end of August. And now they find themselves 4 games out for the 2nd spot in the wild card. And today they've got a tough customer to deal with in Josh Johnson.
Real tough, Tom. Josh Johnson is one of those guys. A few years ago, he would not only have been the #1 pitcher for the Marlins, you might have said he may have been everybody's #1. That's how good this guy was, how good his potential was. And then the shoulder problems started to set in. But he is back this year and pitching very, very well. Maybe he doesn't throw quite as hard as he did, but he has explosive stuff. Hard slider, good changeup. He'll throw a curveball and a real good fastball up and down in the zone. The guy has a tremendous idea how to pitch, and there's nothing comfortable about facing a guy like Josh Johnson, even though he's been through a lot of physical problems over the last couple seasons. This is what he's done. Started out a little bit slowly, then really started to pick it up. Then 2-2, earned run average up a little bit there in July. But this guy has tremendous stuff. They have not scored a whole lot of runs for him. And, that's contributed to the fact that he hasn't had a great season win-loss-wise. But when you face him, he is tremendous. Now, Cliff Lee, he has been great in his last 4 starts. One of the things there, he just doesn't walk anybody. He throws a lot of strikes. Maybe sometime too many strikes. Good earned run average. And it started to turn around a little bit for him. Key spots of the game, he's getting the outs that he needs to get. The Phillies are getting some hits when they need it. And the bizarre season that he's had has turned around a little bit here at the end.
And this has been pretty competitive for the Phils lately, so maybe that fuels Cliff Lee even more this afternoon as the Phillies go for the series and the homestand sweep as they take on the Marlins in the final game of this 3-game series. Josh Johnson for the Marlins, Cliff Lee making his 26th start of the year for the Phils. Neither one of these guys get a whole lot of run support. That's been one of their issues here in 2012. This has been a great homestand for the Phillies. Guys like Juan Pierre have been contributing. Guys off the bench have been contributing. In fact, Pierre's been pretty red hot, so he's back in the lineup again. When we get back, we'll have the lineups at first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Wrap up this homestand. They'll wrap up the series against the Miami Marlins, and they're looking to sweep them out. Oh, they're the shadows we were talking about yesterday that are such a big deal during these day games. I mean, they're already creeping out past the mound. We'll see what effect they have. Here's the lineup for the Marlins, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at center field, Gorkys Hernandez. Donovan Solano, the second baseman, bats second. Jose Reyes hits third, followed by Giancarlo Stanton. Carlos Lee, the first baseman, bats fifth. Justin Ruggiano hits sixth. And the bottom third of Buck, Murphy, and Johnson to face Cliff Lee. And Lee coming in with a record of 4-7, an ERA of 3.50. He's been better since the All-Star break. He just hasn't had any luck since the All-Star break.
Yeah, it's gotten a little bit better. Tommy's picked up some wins. It seemed like forever till he picked up his first win. Only 2 walks in his last 55 and 2/3 innings. This guy will throw a lot of strikes. Career against Miami, you see his numbers. This looks like the end of a day game on Sundays.
Oh, here we go. The first pitch of this day is taken for strike, so we're underway. The count is no balls and 1 strike to Hernandez, who has appeared as a pinch hitter in 1 game so far in this series. He's 0 for 1, a 167 batter overall, and I think if they appeal that, they'll say he went around, and they do. It's 0-2.
Yeah, they sat Peterson, the left-handed hitter, today. Put Ruggiano in left and gave Gorkys Hernandez a start in center field to put another right-handed hitter in the lineup.
It'll be Hernandez, Solano, and Reyes to start the ball game for the Marlins. That ball is hit toward right center, not deep but playable, and it's caught by John Mayberry, 1 away.
Well, it's time now for a Nissan Keys 2. Well, this is an afternoon game here with a 4:05 start. Johnson, Lee, and Shadows early. That equates to a pitcher's day. We'll see. And a perfect homestand. That would be very nice. Phillies could finish it off today with another win.
Here's Donovan Solano, who's 1 for 6 in the series. His 1 hit was a single. It moved him up to the 2-hole today. At the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies begin play today, as everybody knows, after last night's loss by the Cardinals. 4 games behind St. Louis in the wild card. Tied with the Brewers, although that doesn't really matter at this point, because they hold the tiebreaker against the Brewers if there has to be a 1-game playoff. So it would be here. But there's so many other scenarios that are popping up out there about whether there's a 3-way tie or there are 2 teams tied. It's crazy, but it's gotten to that point. Reality has sunk in that the Phillies are indeed involved in a race for the postseason.
Yeah, they are. And once you added that second wild card, that was one of the ideas they hoped would happen. And it has, because if it were the Braves right now, they'd have no shot at the wild card because the Braves are so far in front of them. But the second wild card, yeah, they do.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Donovan Solano. Solano overall a .292 hitter. And he fouls that one off. It remains 2-2. Speaking of the St. Louis Cardinals, they will play the Padres in a day game.
They play what, 9th? I'm trying to remember. 6:35 our time here.
So 3:35 their time. 2 outs on the 1 hopper to Rollins. Just watching that game last night. Thank goodness that's a big ballpark, because Matt Holliday had 1 swing early in the game that would have given the Cardinals the lead again, and it may have been for good.
Well, in baseball, as we all know, it's such a marathon, and you have those good and bad stretches, and sometimes you can't get out of your own way when you're having bad ones, and we saw enough of that this year. Cardinals are in one of those right now, and they still, though, they know they have 9 games with the Astros and Cubs coming up, so they have to think, we got a chance to get out of this tailspin sooner or later.
Here's Jose Reyes, who takes inside and low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
And whether they do or not, that's why you play them.
Well, they were on the other end of that last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they went through what the Phillies are going through right now. Like, every game's a playoff game because you got to keep winning.
Just below the knees, it's 2-0. Reyes in the series has an RBI, but he's hitless in 7 official at bats. Grounded to shortstop. Rollins to his left. And this is going to turn out to be a 13-pitch first inning for Cliff Lee. A nice way to begin the final Citizens Bank Business Person Special. We go to the bottom of the first here in Philly. Starting lineup for today's ball game. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Juan Pierre bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and John Mayberry. Dominic Brown's at right field. He'll bat sixth. Eric Kratz hits seventh. Michael Martinez will bat eighth, and Cliff Lee will hit ninth. Charlie Manuel said, I'm not going to adjust too much of my lineup the way things are going. And he says he's not always superstitious, but he's superstitious to a certain extent.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really going to make him adjust as you look at the numbers on Johnson, still very good numbers, is right-hander, left-hander. Back-to-back right-hander, so same basically what he did last night, except Carlos Ruiz is not going to play. That was one thing we forgot all about last night, that he looked down there and he played the whole game. Yeah.
And came out of it fine, too.
Yeah, there's the scouting report on Johnson. Still throws hard. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, mostly fastball slider, mixes in curveball changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Rollins. 247 with 18 home runs. That's a pop up off third over toward the Marlins dugout, and there is room for Donnie Murphy. 1 away.
Jimmy led off the last time they faced Josh Johnson. He led up the game with a home run, and that was it. And the whole game 1-0. Good job by Kyle Kendrick. That's when Kendrick started this real good stretch he's on right now.
Johnson lifetime is 56-34 with an ERA of 3.14. If there is something that's high this year, it's his earned run average at 3.81. Just for him, because he's been so good in that category for most of his career. But he has battled arm problems.
Yeah, he's not the same guy, but he's still really good.
Here's the 1-0 to Pierre, and Pierre slaps it foul. It's 1-1.
See, Johnson's huge standing out there in that sunshine. There's your career earned run leaders, and his earned run average even a little higher this year, still at 3.14. Ball comes through the shade, and then it comes into the hitters sort of in the shade and the sunlight. So that's why you're going to, for a little while in this game, it could be advantage pitcher.
Yeah, players have talked about that ever since the 2007 postseason against the Colorado Rockies. The first 2 games of that series. The first 2 games, right?
Yeah.
That series.
And that was October, so
yeah.
Shadows were out there quicker in that one.
It was difficult to pick up the ball for the first few innings. And it's a picture-perfect day, though. 80 degrees, bright sunshine.
Remember those games in St. Louis last year in the playoff? The 2 games the Phillies played out there were the Cardinals for the first play of the game was ball lost in the sun.
Utley's had a good series against the Marlins. He's 4 for 7 with an RBI. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Sandy Stones of Newfield, New Jersey. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, and Sandy will win $100. At least 7 for 32 against Johnson for his career.
Playing Chase with a pull defense. Reyes near second base, but not 3 of them over on the right side. There you see just basically a pull defense for a left-handed hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Chase. Ooh, that pitch hit right on the leg. Chase will discard the bat. That was a back foot slider that went right through the front foot and then hit the back of his leg.
Yeah, that one broke a little quick. It's a little hard to pick up the spin right now on the ball, too. Here it comes. He's trying to get out of the way. Hit him right in the calf a little bit.
Now that's going to cause some crampage.
Yeah, that hurt. Not the knee, though. That's good.
So Howard's up with 2 outs. And a runner at first. And he takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Now with Ryan, they will move Reyes over a little bit more. And the third baseman well off the line, Donnie Murphy.
Ryan with 3 home runs against Josh Johnson in his career.
He has some good numbers against some of their pitchers. Guy really wore out with Chris Folstad.
Josh Johnson's now 28 years old. He was a 4th round selection in 2002. Last couple years, if you gave writers a chance to prognosticate who the preseason Cy Young Award winner would be, his name has popped up quite often. Not this year.
Right.
Probably not last year, but the previous seasons, yes, before the Tommy John surgery and the shoulder problems.
Well, that's what we were saying in the opening. I don't think I was blowing smoke that at one time you would look at Josh Johnson maybe as anybody's #1.
I would agree with you on that.
He was so good and had so much potential.
Little squibber back to the mound. Johnson shot puts it over to first for the final out. Phillies go down here in the first. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. On to the second we go. Final game of this 3-game series between the Marlins and the Phils. That for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the second, Giancarlo Stanton leads it off against Cliff Lee. Stanton, Carlos Lee, and Justin Ruggiano. Phillies have a 3-man overshift on the other side.
You hardly ever see this on a right-handed hitter.
You very rarely see it from the Phillies, too.
Yep.
Broke his bat. The bat went farther than the ball for a moment. Rollins bare hands throws wide of first, and that'll be a base hit.
Ball almost hit the bat.
Yep.
Nothing much you can do there. They're all playing so deep against Stanton with nobody on base, and then he just gets jammed and sawed off. Look how far Jimmy Rollins has to come. The ball barely misses the barrel, and he would have been safe even if Howard tried to stay on the bag. And then it got past him, and thankfully it hit the screen behind in front of the dugout and didn't go into the stands.
And Kratz was there too to kind of pick it up and keep Stanton at first. So nobody out, runner at first. Here's Carlos Lee. Carlos Lee acquired from the Houston Astros by the Miami Marlins during the middle of the season. At that point, the Marlins thought, well, we still have an opportunity to be in the race for a postseason spot. Then they tried to trade him before the trade deadline. At least it seemed that way. But he had a no trade clause that kept him from going to Los Angeles first from the Astros.
He didn't want to go.
Now he wants to stay in Miami if the opportunity presents itself, as he takes a curveball for strike 2. It's 1-2.
He's at the point now, though, you really have to play him at first base. And the Astros played him in left field a lot with that small outfield, that small left field.
It's that one the opposite way. That'll be a base hit to right. Stanton stops at second. And the Marlins have the first 2 hitters aboard for Justin Ruggiano. Let's check in with Murph, who's got an update on the 2013 schedule. Murph, take it away.
All right, T-Mac. Yes, not that we're wishing away the 2012 season just yet, with 20 games still to play and hopefully an exciting finish for the Phils. But Major League Baseball and the Phillies have announced and released their schedule for 2013. So we'll give you some of the highlights. The season will begin on April the 1st against those Atlanta Braves. The home opener, rematch of the 1980 World Series with the Royals in town. That's on April the 5th. As far as the rest of interleague play, the Phils will host the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Indians. They're going to travel to Boston, Cleveland, Detroit, and Minnesota, and then the season will end in Atlanta with a 4-game set to finish up the season against those Atlanta Braves. So Wheels and T-Mac, please make a note of it. We'll need you guys to be available.
All right, and Kansas City is the home opener because there will be an interleague series every series in 2013. So that's why there's the rematch of the 80 World Series. That'll be the Phillies home opener. It's very odd.
Seems very strange to see an American League team as your opener.
0-2 the count to Ruggiano.
Home or road. You know, you'd expect that for the on-deck series. You'd see an American League team. That's happened. In fact, this year, have they come up? It's Toronto. Yeah. I don't know whether we announced that yet or not.
Well, I guess that's the tentative plan. Is
right.
That's Toronto.
Yeah, you're never sure.
No balls and 2 strikes the count to Ruggiano.
Oh,
yes, missed inside. 1-2.
Wow. Yeah, Cincinnati's going to have the Major League opener, and they're going to play the Angels in the opener. For a lot of years, they were the team that played the first game. That used to be a baseball tradition.
In the dirt, 2-2.
The parade, the little celebration there at Fountain Square downtown. That was Cincinnati.
And the Astros, who are going to be in the American League next year, will open their season against the Rangers.
Right.
That's 2 American League teams battling.
A lot of little quirks. Some of it being made public today.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Ruggiano. And on the inside corner, called strike 3.
Ruggiano wants to know why wasn't that a strike earlier? You know, if you're going to call it on me, call it earlier. Don't call it on me with 2 strikes.
Well, he's been barking at the umpires all weekend. That's because that's the 7th time he has struck out, or all week, I should say. It's 7th time he has struck out.
Look where this pitch is. He had a pitch just like this early in the count. I mean, it's identical. And a hitter will always say, look.
Whoop, and somebody's gone.
That was quick.
Ozzie Guillen.
The hitter will always figure, let me have that call early so I know where it is, not on the 3rd strike.
Well, it is Ruggiano that's been thrown out of the ball game. At least it seems that way. Ozzie Guillen's coming out to argue on his behalf. At least I think it is. I shouldn't say that it is him, because there were a number of folks that were saying stuff Eduardo Perez has his arms out. Well, there he is.
Yeah.
In the Marlins dugout. Maybe it was Eduardo Perez. And then there's always Ozzie. It could always be Ozzie.
It could be Ozzie, or it still could be Ozzie. Or it momentarily could be Ozzie.
Mike Witters is the crew chief. He's come down just to provide a little backup. Here's Clint Fagan, the home plate umpire. He heard something, mask was off, and he is out of here.
Well, he didn't even give him a warning, did he?
Well, that's why it was probably Ruggiano, because he probably said something to him as he was leaving. So we'll wait for the official announcement. I would say 99% sure it's Justin Ruggiano.
Tony Eduardo isn't moving, and neither is Ozzie.
So it is Ruggiano has been ejected from the ball game. There's one out here at the top of the second with runners on first and second.
Hurts a team like the Marlins too, Tom. Excuse me, because they don't have any. They only have 4 extra men.
There, Ruggiano going down the stairs before the ejection said something back. And that's when he realized that he had been ejected from the game. Fly ball down the right field line. And that'll be out of play.
Hey, for a guy walking down the steps with his head turned, his voice must have been pretty loud for that guy to hear it.
Well, it echoes down there, Wheels. It's like a cavern.
I guess. Man. It's almost like you're sitting back there behind the plate waiting for it. But he could have used some magic words there, too.
Lee turns back towards second to chase Stanton back to the bag.
They carry 4 extra men, so now just like that, they're going to have to put probably Peterson in the game. They're down to 3.
There's a strike to Bucket. It's 1-2.
Or they could put Kearns in the game because he's a right-handed hitter.
Runners not being held on as they take their lead off first and second. And that one's back to the box and stopped by Utley. The flip awkwardly to Rollins for 1. And the Phillies are fortunate they got 1, but that's the second out of the inning. On a nice play by Chase Utley to get to that baseball.
Yeah, he got to it and then looked like he couldn't get out of his glove. Here's Utley's slides. It's in the glove. Now the transfer. He couldn't get it out of the glove, so then he flipped it. Luckily, they had a very slow runner coming down there, and Carlos Lee, they wouldn't have gotten anybody. Here it is right there. He's trying to just flip it. And now he has to throw it.
It's almost like last night on that ball that he was charged with an error where his feet got locked up on the dirt.
Well,
and he fell to the ground.
Well, he had an original plan to get it to him a lot quicker with a flip, and it just didn't work out.
2 outs for Donnie Murphy, who takes strike 1. Murphy 2-11 on the year with 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. To the count. Foul ball.
It must have seemed like an eternity to Jimmy Rollins standing there waiting for him to show it to him. Knowing that a big guy like Carlos Lee it's inevitable he's going to get there.
Kratz keeps it in front. 1-2 the count. Murphy has 1 at bat so far in this series. This is at bat number 2. And the 1-2 pitch.
There's some Ruggiano maybe in watching TV going, didn't I just get called out on that?
Very similar. Josh Johnson waits on deck. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen. It remains 2-2. There's Johnson. Part of the reason for the Phillies' success during the month of September and really during the stretch of the last 6 weeks or so is because of their starting pitching, particularly in September. The starters have been outstanding, even with Doc's 5 runs last night.
Yeah, they've gotten the game. They've gotten it deeper into the games, and then even when they were doing that early in the year, the bullpen would cough it up. And right now, the bullpen's been very, very good.
3-2 with 2 outs. Buck will be off on the next pitch.
Don't have to give in here. Just depend. You know, you want to get this 8-hole hitter out and lead off with the pitcher. You don't want to throw him anything real good that he could put into play and hurt you with a left-handed hitting pitcher coming up.
There's Stanton over at third. And Buck in the sunshine at first. Swing and a miss. He got him. Kratz dropped the ball. He applies the tag, and the side is retired. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Cliff Lee. Murphy saying he foul tipped that one. We go to the bottom of the second. Marlins nothing and the Phillies nothing. The team moving forward, and Eric Kratz and Kevin Franzen discuss their journey from the minors to the starting lineup. Watch Phillies Clubhouse presented by Mercedes-Benz tonight at 9:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Ozzie Guillen's looking for an ear to chew right now in the dugout for the Miami Marlins. He started coming out to argue after Donnie Murphy was called out on strikes, saying that there was a foul ball, and he just waved at the home plate umpire and turned around and walked back to the dugout.
Things don't get any better. Ozzie could join his player in the clubhouse at some point this afternoon.
Here we go.
Great wave off. That was good.
He just said, "Hey," and then he just waved it off.
You know, what's he use?
Austin Kurtz will take over in left field for the Marlins for Justin Ruggiero, who's been ejected from the game. John Mayberry leads it off. It'll be Mayberry, Brown, and Kratz here in the bottom of the second against Josh Johnson. Mayberry takes outside. It's 1-0. Mayberry, this series is 2 for 8. Or excuse me, 2 for 9. His 2 hits are singles. That one's down the right field line. Stanton didn't see it right away, but it's going to slice out of play. On the Homestead overall, John is 4 for 18, so he's cooled off somewhat, but he has had his hand in a couple of the victories the Phillies have picked up. Outside, 3-1 the count to Mayberry. Since the 23rd of August, the Phillies are 14-4. That is the best record in the National League. Another foul ball off to the right. It's the best run they've had this entire year. Obviously coming back from 14 games under 500 in July to being right at the 500 mark coming into play today.
Identical, and on the road and at home they're 500 straight up.
3-2 the count to Mayberry. Inside, ball 4. Second base runner of the day for the Phillies. Well, during the 6-game winning streak, they're averaging over 5 runs per game, but it's the bottom number. The numbers put up by the bullpen that has really been the key to this success.
Yeah. Because you go back in April, May, and June and look at all the games that they had leads in going late into the game, and they would lose the game in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And now they're winning those games. And that's how big league baseball is played nowadays. If you don't have a good bullpen, you will have a bad season.
Dominic Brown, he's heated up lately. 1 ball and no strikes the count. But just the one stat alone, where the Phillies were 1 out away from getting to Papelbon with the lead and lost 6 games. 6. Yeah. That means there were 2 outs. They had the lead. They lost 6 games.
Right. And that doesn't mean it was going to end with Papelbon coming in, but you'd sure take your chances that he's going to come in and save the ball game for you.
Gosh, even if he saved 4 of the 6,
which is certainly his average. Better than that.
Right, we're saying conservatively 4 of 6.
Right.
The way he's been pitching, he might have saved all 6.
Exactly.
Want to know the count to Brown.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's what it comes down to.
The count to Brown.
Josh Johnson in 92 range. He used to be 95, 96. Real heavy fastball. Doesn't have the command of it the way that he used to, nor the velocity. Still a really good pitcher. But this guy, nobody wanted to face him at one time.
Rats on deck. 3-0 the count to Brown. And a strike at the knees. It's 3-1.
You think you can run on Josh Johnson as big as he is? You can. 21 out of 24 this year have been successful.
That's a tough 3-1 pitch. And it must have gotten the outside part of the plate, so it's 3-2.
You like to run on this. They may be more worried about a strikeout double play here than a ground ball double play. We'll see.
There goes Mayberry, and the pitch is fouled away by Dominic Brown.
Well, that's Dominic Brown making a lot more contact that they decide they can run there.
During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Carlos Lee close to the bag at first, not right on it. And Mayberry doesn't go this time, and the ball is hit foul off the third base side.
And every once in a while, normally the guy's going to go. He's going to go on every pitch on the 3-2 count. That time they decide to put a hold on. Fouled off 2 straight. You'd think he'd run here.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Now Johnson steps off.
If he were to throw a breaking ball to strike him out in the dirt, it'd be tough for Buck to throw Mayberry out.
Mayberry goes. Pitch is taken low. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And the Phils are 2 on with nobody out. And Eric Kratz is coming up. The Atlanta Braves will visit Philadelphia one more time in the regular season on Friday, September 21st. They'll start a 3-game series, 4:05 on Saturday. That's German Heritage Day at the ballpark. And then Sunday, the 23rd, is the Total Cole Hamels action figurine. That's free to fans 14 and under.
Nice job by Dominic Brown there, showing confidence in him to start the runner on 3-2 count, and then he walked. A lot of times, you know, you get anxious. You start that runner, guy chase a bad ball.
Eric Kratz, the hitter. Kratz takes on the outside corner, 0-1. Kratz is 0 for his last 10. 9 home runs, 24 runs batted in.
Josh Johnson, not a big home run ball thrower. 12 this year with all the innings that he's pitched. Pitches in a pretty big ballpark in Miami. It's a really nice new facility, and it's big.
Down the right field line, and that'll be out of play. 1-2 the count. One home run every 15.7 innings.
Yeah, that just backs up what we were talking about. Not a guy you think you're going to beat with homers that often. He can hit the ball from like any pitcher, but he will keep the ball in the ballpark. And that from his early days was because of that heavy sinker.
Outside, 2-2 to Kratz. So that list, you know, Clayton Kershaw is on that list. Chien-Ming Wang, who hasn't really been a major leaguer that often the last couple of years because of injuries. What was the thing about last night? Dodgers lost last night. They had Clayton Kershaw pitching. The Cardinals lost. They had Adam Wainwright pitching. Yep. Things really went the Phillies' way in yesterday's games. Not only their victory here, but also around the National League. 2-2 to Kratz. Checked his swing. They appeal. No, says the first base umpire, Corey Blazer. And now it's 3-2.
Well, as a great philosopher in some sports said one time, you know, you never know. Here you go.
Well, he checked.
He did.
Full count here. It's the 3rd one for Johnson.
And they won't be running here. Line drive, triple play time.
Swing and a miss, and Kratz is down on strikes. First strikeout for Johnson.
That's a really good 3-2 slider.
One out. Michael Martinez coming up. Here's the pitch from Johnson.
Kratz is hoping he gets a fastball. Try and hit that in the shadows. It's ball 4, but like most strikeout pitches, they're not strikes.
Michael Martinez is 2 for 6 so far in the series. And he takes strike 1. .161 for the year with a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs.
Been really catching the ball down at third base, and that's been important in this run they've been on in a lot of close games.
Grounder toward first, and Carlos Lee, he almost flubbed that one, but was able to make the play. Runners move up to second and third, and Cliff Lee will bat with 2 outs.
Crowd anticipating Lee coming to the plate like he's a position player in this spot.
He has been fun to watch hit. Two doubles this year for Lee. Those are his 2 extra base hits. He has 10 hits overall.
Just to look at Josh Johnson, one of the best hitting pitchers in Major League Baseball. Not so much, at least this year, struck out a lot. Lee, he is one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball for a pitcher. Slaps the top of the bat like, what did I swing at that for? They're both in the sunshine now, sort of. That ball has to look very strange coming in there from 60 feet 6 inches with the way it's going to change color.
Well, Cliff down to the count 0-2. He's probably hoping for a flat old fastball right now.
Yeah, just hit my bat.
Inside, and it's 1-2.
That was respect. He threw him a breaking ball there.
Mayberry off third. Dominic Brown off second. Inside, 2-2. 14 RBIs, though, for the opposing pitcher. And 232 career ABs. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking pitch. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Johnson. The Phillies threatened with a couple runners in scoring position. We've played 2. It's the Phillies nothing and the Marlins nothing. Section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, name the 2 Marlins that both went 7 for 21 in the 2003 World Series against the Yankees. 2 guys, Wheels, 2.
Not 1, but 2.
Not 1, but 2.
That's pretty good, huh? 7 for 21.
333. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
A lot of good hitters on that club.
They did. That was a heck of a World Series, a surprising World Series.
Yes, certainly was to the Yankees.
Go to the top of the 3rd. A scoreless game. Josh Johnson will lead it off. It'll be Johnson, Gorkis Hernandez, Donovan Solano. Johnson 4 for 47 so far this year with a lot of strikeouts.
31 of them.
And he takes a strike. He's 0-1.
Hit a few home runs early in his career.
Three home runs for his career. 0-2 to count.
The 0-2 pitch. Yeah, 1-2.
Kratz is ready to fire that baby around the infield.
I was right along with him.
Just a little low.
That ball was fired right into the Hall of Fame club, right above the suite level. Speaking of the suite level, we want to send our best wishes out to Maurice Boyle, who does a lot of work here at the ballpark. It helps out in our Comcast Sportsnet suite here at Citizens Bank Park. It helps with some of the other suites down there on that level. Maurice was involved in a car accident last night. We understand he's doing well. We're happy to hear that. And Maurice, we hope that you are feeling a whole lot better and that you'll be back here for the last homestand of the regular season and maybe beyond.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people depend on him.
Over toward third. That's a fair ball right under the glove of Michael Martinez. And Johnson will stroll to first with a leadoff single.
He just had late swing after late swing, and that one just kept it fair somehow. Right off the end of the bat, and Martinez playing off the bag a little bit. Can't get to it. Good job by Juan Pierre, though, to make sure that ball didn't get to the corner so he could get an extra base hit.
Well, that's the third hit for the Marlins. And Hernandez is the batter. He flied out to right center his first time up. Shows bunt and takes that pitch a little high.
That shocked Josh Johnson.
I think it shocked everybody.
Yeah, he bunted for a base hit. That's what he was trying to do, was surprise everybody.
Josh Johnson's looking at Gary Thurman and saying, "Hey, did I miss a sign?"
Yeah, did we bunt on that?
Slowly hit left side. Martinez will cut it off. He may have had a play at second, but instead went to first. I think he had a chance to get Josh Johnson.
Yeah, because he's not running very well. They weren't holding him on, but still didn't have much of a lead.
Well, he took the safety, the easier play, the more conservative play, and got the out at first.
He had plenty of time to get Johnson. He's probably not even going to slide going into second.
Solano grounded out to short his first time up. He fouls it away. It's no balls and one strike.
One of the things you talk about all the time in this game, before the pitch is thrown, you always have to know who the runner is, what the situation is, where I'm going to go if the ball's hit to me. In that case, you have to be thinking, I got a really slow runner at first base. Unless it's just out of the question, get your force. Keep the double play in order.
And I couldn't tell whether he was looking that way or if he just had his sights set on first the whole time.
Well, that's the point. You know, your sights should not be set on first unless that's your only play that you've deemed as you're coming after it. I have no shot, and he definitely had a shot at him. So hopefully it doesn't hurt them.
0-2 pitch in the dirt. 1-2. This is the 15th meeting between the Phillies and the Marlins. They have each won 7 during the season series. Phillies have won 5 of the 7 here at home, and the Marlins have won 4 of the 7 down in South Florida. But as anybody will tell you, these are two teams that have been very different from the first time they faced each other till now in so many ways. Two and two the count.
Well, the Marlins have had a very difficult season that I don't think a whole lot of people thought they would have.
Off the mask of Kratz, and it remains 2-2.
They did some things in the offseason that had potential volatility involved. So you thought, well, maybe it could blow up, and that really didn't happen that much. Here's the foul tip off Eric's mask. Takes it right off. You know, moving Reyes, putting Reyes in, moving Ramirez to third, bringing Zambrano over here, even having Ozzie as the manager.
over to shortstop. Rollins to his left. And there are 2 outs. Tuesday, September 25th is the beginning of a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. Tuesday's Goya Latino Family Celebration here at the ballpark. Thursday is Fan Appreciation Night. That's a 7:05 start. Tickets are available by going to Phillies.com.
Johnson not a guy who's going to run real well, so it's probably going to be hard to score him on a hit, depending on the kind of hit you get. Only outfielder deep right now is Pierre on his pull side, on Reyes' pull side.
A curveball to Jose for a strike, 0-1. Reyes is 0 for 1. Grounded one a shortstop his first time up. Popped up. Right side. Howard is calling, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. Lee is through 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here at Citizens Bank Park. Than any other brand, go further. Visit your Quality Plus Sports store today. Buy Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And buy Nissan. Get to your local Nissan dealer for great deals or visit choosenissan.com. Bottom of the 3rd, scoreless ball game. Jimmy Rollins due up. And speaking of J-Roll, it's time now for a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Rollins yesterday, after hitting a pop-up that was dropped by Rob Brantley, he got new life, and he got a pitch he could drive. That's our Cold Hard Blast. It's brought to you by Frostproof Coors Light. 3 runs scored last night for Jimmy Rollins. That gives him 84 on the year.
That's another example of things that are going right for the Phillies lately, too. And guy drops a pop-up, next pitch, 2-run home run.
Well, Rollins popped out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And he takes a strike, 0-1 to count. Johnson is not allowed to hit yet, but the Phillies have seen 40 pitches through the first 2 innings.
Well, yeah, he's hit a batter and walked 2. So they've had 3 base runners.
Chopper to the right side. Big hop for Solano. Yeah, there's one away. There's Rob Brantley, the catcher last night, who we were joking with. He slammed his helmet down after he dropped the pop-up, slammed his mask down after the home run. He has some youthful exuberance. And he was very upset with himself after that ball game, or after that play.
You can tell he cares.
Yes. Pierre's the batter. And it's 0-1 to Juan Pierre.
Fanatic is down in front of us doing the popcorn act.
There's a young lady who's celebrating her birthday today here at the ballpark, so she's getting a visit from the Fanatic as Pierre lines it the opposite way right at Austin Kurtz.
Well, that was a bullet by Juan Pierre.
Yeah, there are 2 outs. That young lady right there is celebrating her birthday. I believe her name is Jenna. And they sung happy birthday to Jenna earlier today. And what a great treat to have the Fanatic come and be part of her birthday celebration. Open seat next to her. Why not? Catching a batter or something here. She's dusting off her purse and everything from all the popcorn. Two outs for Utley. And it's 1-0 to Chase, who was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Fanatic with his special day game shirt on.
Yep. Phillies have one of the best alternate uniforms in baseball, truly. See, the Marlins have their alternate tops on, the black tops. This has been, I think, one of the better uniforms around baseball. You know, when they wear something other than the red and white pinstripes. And that's a great look.
Yeah, real good job with that. Been wearing that now for a number of years.
Outside and high, 3-0 the count. Ryan Howard's on deck. Hits it foul off the left side out of play. The Fanatic must have taken some extra vitamins today.
Yeah, he's active down here below.
Especially frisky this afternoon.
Yes, it sounded like a daycare center down here. There's a lot of happy children and adults.
He's got a posse follow. Look at all those folks taking pictures of him in the up above the seats. And a swing and a miss, and Utley's down on strikes. And the Phillies go down in order here in the third. The Fanatic is making everybody laugh, though, as the Phils go down quietly. And we go to the fourth inning here in Philly. The most reliable staplers you can buy from who? But W.B. Mason. Top of the fourth inning here at Philadelphia. Beautiful afternoon. And soak in our final Citizens Bank Business Person Special. The Fanatic is just all over the place today. Sarge, he's been banging on the trim around the booth.
I thought someone was actually coming through the door. It was actually so loud.
Giancarlo Stanton leads it off for the Marlins here in the 4th, and the first pitch is strike. It's 0-1. Stanton singled his first time up, so he's 1 for 1. It's an infield single. He shattered his bat and hit a slow roller toward to Rollins at shortstop.
Now that's where they're coming now. Want to tie those big guys up. Try and get in on the hands. Good pitch. Got to tell you though, so far it would appear that the umpires are more hitter friendly than pitcher friendly, meaning that the pitchers aren't getting the balls called on inside or borderline low.
There's Mark Wagner. He heard some stuff last night. I guess it's all part of it, though. You have to have thick skin if you're an umpire. There's a pop-up around home plate. Kratz off of the mask. And there's one away. And that'll bring Carlos Lee to the plate. Lee singled against Cliff Lee his first time up. Sarge, scoreboard watching. You scoreboard watching?
Well, I gotta wait for around. Yes, I am scoreboard watching.
Did you hear the hesitation?
Once it got to where they were, 500. Yeah, you gotta start that.
All right. Well, I say that because there's a hefty slate of games today that we'll get a chance to follow while we're on the plane to Houston.
Yeah, that would be nice to be only 3 games out, and those are, you're right, big games. Beat that L.A. though. Let's get them a little bit tighter. I'd like to go through that last day and maybe have everybody tied. Now what they do?
Well, there's a whole list of scenarios that would happen or take place if there was a 3-way tie for the wild card or even a 4-way tie for the wild card.
And that's possible.
Absolutely. And it's something that, obviously with this new format has never happened before. So we'll see how it plays out. It could delay the start of the regular playoffs till the weekend because there have to be some playoff games.
Yeah, let's just take it right on into Christmas. Let's just play.
Why not?
Yeah, why not is exactly right.
Lee takes a strike. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we've said this all along. The Phillies have made it very competitive. They've made it enjoyable again. I mean, the September has meant something for the last decade or so here in Philadelphia. When Larry Bowa took over, there was this, there was something to play for in September. When Charlie took over from Bowa, it was taken to the next step. So that's the great part of this story is that despite how nerve-wracking this season has been, it truly has been. Well, it's competitive.
Well, we're talking 4 games right now, and when you're only 4 games out, you have your destination in your hands. All you have to do is go out and win. You don't even have to pay attention to any of the other teams. But believe me, there are a lot of teams that are paying attention to the fighting fields, and that is for sure.
Well, there have been stories popping up the last few days about the Phillies' resurgence as Kearns floats that to shallow right. Playable for Brown. An easy inning for Cliff Lee. 1, 2, 3 go to Marlins. 6 straight for Cliff Lee. It would be great if baseball took its season to Christmas. Sarge, maybe in the years to come. We shall see.
We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. Bottom of the fourth inning. Scoreless game.
Nice hat. Very nice hat.
Sarge, is it the hat you're wearing today?
Similar. You know, if you remember the last time that we wore maroon,
your hat didn't match.
The hat didn't match, and actually, Debbie Nacino actually called and sent me a text and said, "Are you colorblind?" And sure enough, when I looked at the hat and the shirt, it just didn't really go together at all.
Right, Howard leaves it off here at the bottom of the fourth. Well, I think this one's okay. I mean, this one has a little bit of the shirt shade in it.
Better than all of the red, I guess.
Yeah. That's a very similar. There's very similar styles.
Yeah.
To the caps that you're wearing and the gentleman's wearing.
I like that. I like his hat. It's like that little Guinness beer that he prefers. Well, maybe it's his golf hat.
Either way, 3-1 the count to Ryan Howard. Howard spin one softly back to the mound. Only time up. This one's hit a little sharper, but ready Carlos Lee. And one away here in the bottom of the fourth.
I think sometimes as a hitter, when you just haven't been hitting the way you would like, you get a little bit anxious there at the plate. And for me, when Ryan learns to even take more pitches and just take your walks and recognize that, you should be able to recognize that when you go up to the plate, whether or not that pitcher wants to pitch you or not. And usually, let's face it, close ball games or no score, they're going to be extra careful to Ryan Howard. So you just got to go on and take your walks.
Kind of like the way Jim Thome used to do it, or Pat Burrell used to do it.
Right. You know, I mean, you know in a time when you go up to the plate, if that pitcher really wants to really go at you. I remember Barry Bonds used to start to take that wrap off maybe after the second pitch because he knew that this guy was only trying to trick him.
One ball and one strike to count to Mayberry. When you say trick him, he's not going to get a fastball.
Not going to get a fastball. They want to throw balls that, you know, they're almost making pitches up. Talked with Ryan Sandberg about that. And he mentioned that the other day, how difficult it was to hit in Ryan's spot because he's not going to just get a fastball to hit. You know, we talk about staying on the fastball, but, you know, pitchers aren't just going to throw him fastball.
Now, if you get to 2 strikes, then it's a different story, I would assume.
Well, depending on the situation, you know, he's done very well. I mean, for me, all except for the average.
Mayberry's run the count full 3-2.
You had that many RBIs. I mean, that quick. You can see if he's with the club at the beginning of the year. That's just an automatic 100 RBIs.
And a foul tip, a strikeout for Johnson, his 4th of the day.
Well, no excuses. Everybody's in shade. That's just a tough pitch. Pitcher's pitch. Down and away from that position where Mayberry is. Impossible to put the bat on the ball from his stance where he is. And that pitch, just not going to do it.
Dominic Brown walked his first time up. Yeah, Johnson is not allowed to hit through the first 3 2/3. He's hit a batter. He's walked 2.
I think one of the players they need to try and get is whether or not it's an outfielder or a third baseman, someone to hit around or in back of Howard. And when you have somebody like that, say for instance, just throw a name out there, a Beltre, third baseman there with Texas, he'll get good pitches.
It'll change the complexion of the lineup for a power hitter like a Ryan Howard to get a guy with a little more power to hit behind him on a consistent basis. On to the 5th inning we go. Be the first with breaking news in Philly sports. Get Philly sports when you're on the go, delivered right to your smartphone. Download the free CSN Sports app now. Well, he played 4 so far here in Philly. Cliff Lee, 65 pitches through 4. He's allowed 3 hits, no runs. Josh Johnson is not allowed a hit through the first 4 innings. Phillies have run some deep counts against him. So Lee will go to work against John Buck, Donnie Murphy, and Josh Johnson here in the top of the 5th inning. Quickly, it's 0-2 to John Buck, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time up.
Cliff Lee doing a great job at keeping that cutter or his fastball just in very good spots. Ball inside. Guys aren't even able to pull the ball. He's got it in there so deep.
Well, he throws a curveball. Kratz keeps it close, and the strikeout is complete. Putout goes 2-3. Third strikeout for Lee.
Bringing out that curveball. That's always a dangerous pitch. Get those early strikes. You can get batters or swinging pitches just like that when they're in the dirt. Don't have to throw them a strike.
Well, Sarge, that gives Cliff Lee 1,494 strikeouts for his career. So he is zeroing in on 1,500 strikeouts. When he began his major league career, as I think most know, he wasn't a strikeout pitcher. However, that's changed, and he's become one of the better strikeout pitchers in the National League and Major League Baseball in recent years. 13 double-digit strikeout games as a Philly. And 21 overall. Today he's not necessarily a strikeout pitcher. He has 3 with 1 out here in the 5th.
Yeah, earlier during the game when you have the shadows, you could pick up some of those strikeouts. And the toughest pitch to hit in the shadows, always that breaking ball, because you can't pick up the spin of the ball.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way outside.
slipped out of his hand, so he just decided to get rid of it.
Got him. High fastball, 2 outs. Follow the Phillies on social media for all the latest information about the team and its activities. Enjoy special activities and opportunities only available through our social media accounts. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Google+. Visit Phillies.com/social for a list of accounts. Oh, 1 the count to Johnson. He's firing strikes now.
Well, he gets in a groove, and you know, maybe the guys too downstairs are realizing how important these games are. You need a great pitching performance, not only from Cliff Lee, but all their guys.
Well, he just struck out the side. Johnson is the 3rd strikeout in a row for Cliff Lee. It's his 5th of the ball game. We're through 4.5 here in Philadelphia. Still nothing decided. The Marlins nothing and the Phillies nothing. Due up for the Phillies. And it's time, despite the fact that his notebook ripped today, for our Major League notebook. Murph, take it away.
But I got a new one, so we're all good.
Nice.
Good folks at Gwinnett Mercy College provided me with a second one, so we'll go from there. The news is good for ace starter Brandon McCarthy, guys. Less than a week after suffering a fractured skull and a brain hemorrhage, he has been released from the hospital. He is headed home. He's going to stay in the Bay Area for the next couple of weeks so they can keep an eye on him, but certainly good news for him. And Roy Oswalt is back on the shelf. He was pulled out of his last start complaining of a sore elbow, and now the Texas Rangers are saying that he's not going to pitch for 2 or 3 days because he has a strained forearm. So Roy Oswalt on the shelf as the Texas Rangers look to wrap up that division. He'll be on the shelf for a little while. 2 to 3 days. They're going to check him after that and see if he can get ready to go after that, guys.
Eric Kratz hits the first pitch to right field, shallow. Stanton makes the catch. I don't know about you guys, but you get the feeling that maybe Oswalt shouldn't have come back.
Yeah, it hasn't exactly gone as well as he would have scripted it, I would think. You know, he's had all kinds of problems just staying in the rotation, and now with the injuries as well. But you know what? They're in first place. He's on a team that's going to be making a run for the pennant, so might work out for him in that regard.
Murph, Sarge just waved him off while we were up here. You didn't see that, but he just waved him off.
Yeah, I just don't know what a scout could see in him after seeing him pitch, even last year. And then it's just some of the things that he said about, well, taking a day off here, wanting to go on his tractor. I mean, why would you want a guy like that or bring in bad karma, on your team? And he hasn't been healthy for the last, 4 years or so.
No, you're right. And there's something to that, but he has won 4 games for the Texas Rangers so far. Now, albeit they score a ton of runs. He's 4-3 with an ERA of just over 6. So his numbers aren't that great, but, he is winning some games for them. So it's working.
All right, we'll see what happens as the season moves on. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Michael Martinez.
A lot of noise, isn't it?
Well, he's down on the concourse. He's
okay.
He's among the folks. Three and 2 the count to Martinez. Martinez grounded out to first, his only time up. And that ball's off Johnson. Martinez hustles to first, and the little flip is there just ahead of him. Josh Johnson still is not allowed a hit. And now there are 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th. 1-3 on the putout.
Well, this ball hit hard up the middle. One of those situations you're hoping he gets out of the way. Actually, it hit his glove as he picks it up and flips it right over to first base.
Well, the athletic trainer for the Marlins, Ed Reddy St. Clair, they headed out and then were waved back in by Josh Johnson.
Sure, Martinez hoping that ball would have maybe ricocheted back towards second base. Just happened to go right over toward first.
Yeah, or over to third. Either way, not near the first base bag.
Exactly.
Lee struck out his only time up. Got a pretty good swing there, and it's 0-1.
Johnson throwing hard tonight, 94. Ozzie always talking. Yeah.
0-2 the count. What if Ozzie realizes there's a little critter in front of him in the screen?
Maybe not, because he's always looking around or up in the stands.
Did you get down and see him today?
Actually saw him too a little bit yesterday. They got in a little later today. But, usually when you talk to him, and there's always a crowd around him for sure.
1-2 the count to Lee. 2-2. 95 in the dirt. Phillies have one more series against the Marlins down in Miami for the end of the regular season.
Well, I guess that's a little bit of respect to throw the 2-2 slider. Johnson has a good fastball throwing at 94. You would think that's the pitch you would want to throw to the pitcher, and I'm sure he's going to get it right now.
Ground ball softly over to shortstop. Reyes throws Lee out. So 8 3-ball counts, 7 full counts for Josh Johnson, but he hasn't allowed a hit through 5. We go to the top of the 6th inning here at Philadelphia, the scoreless game.
one heck of a second half of the season. Back and forth from rotation to bullpen was the first half of 2012 for Kyle Kendrick. Dominating and stingy on the mound is his current run through July, August, and into September. A career-high 8 strikeouts and a strong 7-inning performance the last time out has added to his much-needed boost to the Phillies rotation. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Changing the game. Top of the 6th inning, scoreless ball game. The Phillies without a hit so far. Neither team has been able to manage a run. As we go to the top of the 6th, the top of the order is due up for the Miami Marlins. Well, this is a genuine pitcher's duel today, Sarge.
Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of those, although usually when it is a pitcher's duel, the game usually goes by a lot faster than what it is right now, especially not a lot of hits.
Well, Gorkis Hernandez, Donovan Solano, and Jose Reyes will lead it off. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Hernandez is 0 for 2. He's flied out to right center. He's grounded out to third. Lee begins the inning with 77 pitches. And the bunt, foul, and it's 0-1. This is what we've become accustomed to with Lee this year. There have been games where, well, quite frankly, he hasn't had his best stuff.
Yep.
He's got hit hard. But there are other games where the Phillies just haven't scored any runs for him. With his 5 innings today, he has 180 innings. The Phillies have scored 66 runs for him during those 180 innings.
Well, he hasn't been getting a lot of support, you know, not only this offensively, even defensively at times. And then you're right, to his own credit, getting and pitching too much of the plate. I mean, there are times when he's pitching like the way he is now, you wonder how do they even get a hit off of him.
I agree.
He's got a good fastball, that one that's down and away, and then the one that's throwing inside. He's making sure that they're not getting the good part of the bat on the ball.
2-strike pitch coming to Hernandez. And a curveball cut out and missed. Wow. 6 strikeouts, 4 in a row for Lee.
I don't know why hitters look for this pitch. You just can't hit it. Not going to hit a good curveball. I hear guys saying, well, I'm going to sit on this pitch. The pitch that you end up hitting is really the one that the pitcher ends up hanging. The one that has good break on it, you're not squaring that ball. I'm sure you're going to get some base hits on it, but for the most part, oh no, no damage.
One ball, 1 strike the count. Solano's grounded out to Rollins twice today. Well, there are the comparisons between the two pitchers. Johnson is not allowed a hit. He's allowed 3 base runners. Lee has not walked anyone, but he's allowed 3 base runners. Now the 1-1 pitch.
I got to tell you, and not only is he pitching a great game, though, he's not getting, which is even more impressive, he's not getting the outside corner or the inside part of the plate here so far.
Back toward the middle, Rollins to his left, bobbles it, and that'll be an error charged to Jimmy Rollins. That's his 12th error of the year.
I don't know if he took his eye off of that ball or came up right there. That's just a boot. And he makes that play just about in his sleep. There's a fast infield, had a little bit of top spin on it, but normally he makes that play.
Solano has stolen 7 bases this year, and he has not been caught yet.
Yeah, these games where you don't score a lot of runs, it has a tendency to put pressure on you, especially when you're the home team and you don't have a hit.
Soft chopper back to the mound. Lee off balance flip, and Utley didn't hold out of the bag. Second base umpire Mike Witters said that he fell off the bag before the throw arrived.
Let's take a look at that one again. I don't know. Just with the naked eye there, I'm going to say that he was probably on the bag. Let's take a look at it, as he could have set himself a little bit more. Yeah, good call, though. I thought he was off now.
Right there, the foot's on. The ball is... Boy, that's awfully close. His foot is very close to the bag. It looked like it was off by a tad.
Yeah, from the advantage point of the umpire, when you're dragging that foot, he's going to think that it was off there. And he's probably telling him, whether or not, yeah, I was on, no, I wasn't on. But getting back, though, to Cliff Lee, he had time to set himself. If you're not going to turn 2, you at least want to be able to get 1 out in that situation.
Well, they scored an E1, so back-to-back errors for the Phillies. Put 2 on with 1 out, and Stanton is the hitter. And Stanton takes high. It's 1-0.
Needs to come out with a good pitch. Needs a ground ball here. Good pitch. When you start talking about pitch count, there's 2 errors right now. He should really be right in the dugout and wrestling. But because of the errors, and that's why defense goes right along with your pitching. Can't judge pitching if you don't have good defense.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Stanton. And now 2-1. The curveball low. Rollins' error with 1 out, put 1 on. And then Lee, charged with an error on an errant throw to Utley, puts the second runner on. And now the heart of the Marlins order is up.
Just being a little bit more careful, and you have to with these type of hitters. This is not a situation where you throw it up and say, okay, just go on and hit it. Got to throw a quality strike. Good pitch. Tell you exactly what he was doing, and that's sitting on that breaking ball. That's why he took a fastball almost right down the middle. This guy, a fastball hitter, came into the league in doing that.
3-2 with 1 out. Runners lead off first and second. And a foul ball by Stanton.
I kind of thought he might come back with a curveball then, just to kind of pitch him a little bit backwards there. You can see right away, though, that he did not take that particular fastball. Just protecting the pitch, taking your count when you have 3-2. You got to make sure that you swing at or try and foul the close pitches.
Now the 3-2 pitch in the air to left field. Juan Pierre is out there. It's playable in the alleyway. He's under it. The runners go back to tag. Solano thought about going. The throw goes to second, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th.
It's a good play by Juan Pierre. Actually conceding third base, just making sure that 2 runners aren't going to advance and get into scoring position. That's a good play, veteran play. Take a look now. You see, he goes back to tag up. Now he still throws that ball into second. Even though he was late in getting back, he might have been able to go on and tag and get over, but it wouldn't have mattered. Juan Pierre was going to throw that ball to second base.
All right, now the home plate umpire was out there as part of that conversation between Kratz and Cliff Lee. He was out there for a little bit with those two out and mound. Not sure what was said. Kratz was going out to kind of chat about how they wanted to approach Carlos Lee. 2 away. Lee is 1 for 2. Martinez hugging the line. And that pitch is shot through the hole on the right side. Brown is up with it. Solano's coming home. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's offline. And the Marlins take a 1-0 lead. An RBI for Carlos Lee. It's the same kind of hit he had his first time up. It's an unearned run, and the Marlins strike first here in the 6th.
Shows you what kind of hitter he is. Not even thinking about trying to pull the ball or get the ball out. Take a look at that stroke as he just goes the other way. Here's the guy that sees drives in a lot of runs all the time. That throw off target. I don't know, though, if it was off target enough where maybe in that situation Howard could catch that ball and make that throw to third base. When it's offline like that, you know it's not going toward home plate. That's your cue as a defensive player that you can go on and cut the ball. You let it go through when you got a chance to get the runner out at home plate.
Well, now it's 1-0 to Austin Kurds with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. An unearned run here in the 6th inning for the Marlins. Over toward third. Martinez makes the play, and he goes to second to retire the side. The Marlins get an unearned run on a base hit by Carlos Lee. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The top of the order is due up for the Phils when we return. Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. By WB Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Toyota, every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. Now, the Phillies are hitless right now through their first 5. They trail at 1-0. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, the top of the order is up. Josh Johnson's retired 12 in a row. He's at 79 pitches through 5 innings so far. Let's see what the Phillies could do their 3rd time through. Rollins is popped out and he's grounded out. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Obviously, we've seen no-hitters before. Johnson doesn't seem to have no-hit stuff today. But he hasn't allowed a hit through 5. Rollins right side, and there's the first hit of the afternoon.
And that is a clean single right through the hole. Great placement. Well, you don't have to worry about this. See that ball as well. Lee trying to dive to get that ball. That's a big body going down there on the ground. Automatically, too, you see Johnson doing what he should, and that's getting over to first base.
Oh, we mentioned you can run on Josh Johnson. Pierre is up. The third baseman, Murphy, is in on the grass. And a throw over to first. Rollins back diving.
If he holds the ball a long time, you want that batter to call timeout. Plus, as a hitter, you don't want to be standing up as if you are a statue.
Pierre shows bunt, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson's given up 21 steals this year. Bumgarner, a left-hander, has given up 22. Hansen 26, and Burnett 31. Burnett hasn't pitched the whole year.
Well, that would tell you that they have big leg kicks if they have that many steals against them.
Pierre bunts. Buck out from behind home plate. And the runner moves up to second base. 2-3 on the sacrifice. And 1 away here in the 6th. Visit the ballpark up close and personal with your group of 25 or more. You can take a ballpark tour here at Citizens Bank Park. It includes visits to the dugout, Diamond and Hall of Fame clubs, and much more. They're available year-round. For information or to schedule your group tour, see ballpark tours at Phillies.com. Runner at second. Chase Utley's the hitter. Utley 0 for 1. He struck out his last time up. Hit by a pitch in the first inning. Phillies down 1. Second time today, a runner in scoring position.
Hard to really get a jump if he's thinking about still in third. Reyes right behind him. The only time it is a good play is if you make it. You want to give yourself every opportunity to score a run. You got your 3 and your 4 hitters that are coming up with 1 out.
Phillies are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today.
You can almost see how the concentration is split some with Johnson throwing with a runner in scoring position. A little more deliberate. Trying to make a good pitch, trying to keep Jimmy Rollins close to the bag. Since coming back, he's taken a lot of pitches. Very, very impressive. And that's what I mean by just going on and taking a walk. If you look like he doesn't want to pitch to you, 2-0, usually you're going to get a pretty good pitch. That ball there, a ball kind of going away. A lot of hitters would swing at that pitch.
Ball 4, and the Phillies have 2 on with 1 out, and Ryan Howard coming up. Jimmy Rollins, who is one stolen base away from 400 for his career. He's asking Sam Perlazzo what Johnson's times are to the plate.
He should really know, for me, the times. I mean, you face the Marlins so much, they should know just about each and every one of the pitches, mannerisms, when they can get jumps off of them, who holds you on, who doesn't.
Swing and a miss by Howard, and it's no balls and 1 strike. I guess that's what you were talking about the recognition.
Yep. Well, that ball there, cutter. I don't know if I'm even going to swing at a pitch after the batter in front of me has been walked on 4 pitches. It's going to have to be an awful good pitch for me to swing at. It's certainly not going to be one that would be down and in.
Line drive down the right field line. Does it stay fair? It's a foul ball. That would have scored 1, and it would have put pressure on the Marlins to get it in, so the Phils didn't score 2.
Much better pitch, much better swing. See, this ball here is up a little bit, another slider, and he goes out and just hooks it a little bit down the right field line. Well, he has that fastball in the back of his mind and just out in front just a little bit on that slider.
0-2 the count to Howard. Rollins singled, Utley walked. One of 3 walks issued by Johnson today. Inside, 2-2.
That's a good eye. A pretty good pitch. See, Ozzie wants that pitch, but you know what? He hadn't been calling that pitch inside on the corners or outside. So hitters got to know that too.
That's not the only pitch he's stewing about today. It's 2-2 now to Ryan Howard. Phillies down 1. The tying run in scoring position. Johnson steps off as Rollins was dancing off the second base bag.
Yeah, hitters don't want you dancing around. Either you go, and if you don't go early, they just assume you stay still out there.
Swing and miss. And Howard is struck out. 5 strikeouts for Johnson today.
Well, this is not a fastball, something off speed. Not a strike, however. No, that's just a pitch there that normally you can't swing at that. Once you recognize the spin of that, and he did early on, but for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe looking for that pitch, he went on and swung. With that, there was just about a ball when it left his hand there. As that ball bounced almost in front of the plate.
Well, now it's left up to Mayberry. Phillies with a scoring opportunity here at the bottom of the 6th inning. And Mayberry takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Now a conversation between John Buck and Johnson.
Yeah.
Solano comes up too. Boy, that was way too good a pitch.
I was going to say, probably went and told him, hey, you can't throw that ball down the middle of the plate again. Yeah, I don't know if it was off speed or a slider or not, but it didn't really slide. And boy, I got to tell you, look at this. Oh, it was a slider, and it was. If you swing the bat, you hit that one maybe out on accident. But maybe not looking for that pitch.
Line drive towards center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Rollins around third, heading for home. The throw to third. Utley is safe, and the Phillies tie it up. John Mayberry comes through with an RBI single, and Utley goes all the way to third with a heck of a slide. And the Phils have evened up the ball game at 1 apiece.
Boy, I tell you what, on that slide there, I haven't seen him do that one before there. Thought maybe that foot got stuck in the mud or the ground there. Mayberry coming up with a clutch 2-out base hit. Here's that throw coming right over the top. Take a look at the slide as he kind of half slides there.
Tell you what,
stand-up slide.
That was awfully close to being it out at third and the run not scoring at the plate. Whew.
Excellent base running.
So a 1-1 game. Dominic Brown is up with Utley at third. And Brown takes a strike. It's 0-1. Look at this slide.
Take another look at it as he's sliding. Well, he's almost calling himself safe. Getting a little bit off balance.
Chopper right side. Lee has it, waiting for somebody to cover second. And the inning is over. The Phillies do tie it up, though, on the RBI single by John Mayberry. They leave a couple. We go to the 7th. It's a tie game between the Phils and the Marlins.
Josh Johnson plus Cliff Lee plus the Shadows equal probably a low-scoring game, and that's exactly what we have going here right now. And you see, nobody scored until the 6th inning because it was like Mr. Magoo baseball for 5 innings. You could tell nobody could really see down there, and pitching dominated it. And now a 1-1. That was a pretty exciting 6th inning. 2 big 2-out hits. The one by Carlos Lee and the one by John Mayberry Jr. Cliff Lee and Josh Johnson both thrown a lot of pitches here this afternoon, but have hung in.
Yeah, Josh Johnson may be done. He's due up third in this inning. We'll see, because the Marlins don't have anybody up and throwing in the pen. John Buck will lead it off. He's the 7-hitter. And Buck takes low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Lee had just threw his 99th pitch of the day.
Right, bottom of the order, as you said, Tom. They like him to get through this inning before they have to go to the pen. Been a little tight zone down there today, and neither one of these guys. Well, they've run a lot of deep counts, both of them.
Lee has struck out 6 in the ball game. And the 2-0 pitch to Buck.
They have a 1-0 game going right now, and he made a costly error last inning after the Jimmy Rollins error, and a big clutch hit by Carlos Lee.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Connie Murphy's on deck, and then the pitcher's spot.
And they've used up the only right-handed hitter they have, and that was Austin Kearns when he had to come into the game when Ruggiano was ejected. It appeared for arguing balls and strikes.
Just off the inside corner, ball 4. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
Certainly Cliff Lee didn't want to do that against a light hitter like John Buck to walk him after they just get back tied. Now see if they bunt here, depending on who the pinch hitter is going to be. It's got to be a left-handed hitter.
Well, Johnson's coming out of the on-deck circle. Murphy doesn't square, and that's an easy, lazy fly ball to right.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons why they didn't bunt them. The one being that they only have is a left-handed bench, and the other being they're going to leave Johnson in the game.
Phillies bullpen is starting to unwind. Justin DeFreitas, Jake Diekman both starting to throw.
You wonder if Ozzie Guillen didn't have to use Kearns early in the game if they'd have bunted there and then hit Kearns for Johnson. Probably would have.
As it turns out, he may be up there to bunt.
Right. He's going to bunt, but it's a second out. That's
right.
A big difference.
Martinez in at third. Johnson squares, hits it in the air. Martinez makes the catch. 2 outs. And the runner's still over at first. Gorky Hernandez is 0 for 3. He's flied out, he's grounded out, and he is struck out. To right field on a line. Brown is out there and makes the catch.
2 pitches to get those last couple guys.
And they keep Cliff Lee in the ballgame. We'll see. It's time to stretch here in Philadelphia in a 1-1 game. His answer. All right, the question, Wheels, was this. Name the 2 Marlins that both went 7 for 21 in the 2003 World Series against the Yankees.
How about our very own Juan Pierre being one of them?
Juan Pierre is correct. That's number 1.
Well, let's I'm torn between these two. All right, let's go with Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera is an excellent guess, Wheels, and incorrect.
How about Mike Lowell?
Mike Lowell is another good guess. It is incorrect.
All right, who was it? No.
Jeff Kodai.
Yeah, that would have been another good guess.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of the Phillies prize pack.
Like I said, they had a lot of good hitters.
By the way, Greg Dobbs has taken over at third base for the Marlins. This is the play where Utley slid in, and Murphy got kicked by Chase. I didn't even see that. I was looking at that Chase's foot going into the bag.
Yeah, they were both stunned a little bit on that. Murphy really got flipped. Look at his knee right there. Whoops, sorry. Looked like their knee got scraped a little bit, but he's not coming out of the game for that. Something must have happened to his ankle. Think he hit in the head? Got his bell rung, huh?
I was watching Utley's feet, and Murphy's head went right into his back leg. Here's the 0-1 to Kratz. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. It'll be Kratz, Martinez, and then the pitcher spot. Almont is warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies.
That takes another extra man away from the Marlins.
Kratz holds. 1-2 the count. Johnson now is at 100 pitches after that one. Two and two the count.
Throwing a lot of sliders here this afternoon. That's what the reports on Johnson lately are: fastball slider mix, some changeups, also and curveballs, and a lot of fastball slider today. Not a good ball strike ratio for him. He's run a lot of deep counts, but he didn't get hurt much early in the game. Ooh, another one.
I think he was fooled on that breaking pitch.
I think so.
Kratz hustling up the first base line is a strikeout victim, number 7.
He rolls out a curveball every once in a while, like he did to Ryan Howard, and there to Kratz, and that'll really fool you.
So 1 out. Sunday, September 23rd, when the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. All fans 14 and younger will receive the Cole Hamels action figurine courtesy of Total. Tickets are available now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Michael Martinez, who's 0 for 2, who's grounded out twice. Martinez hits it the other way on the ground. Jose Reyes has it, and there are 2 outs. And Pete Orr is coming up to pitch hit. So Cliff Lee's day is done after 7 innings. And Almont looks like he's coming into the 8th. Oh, good day for Cliff, and hopefully Pete Orr can launch one out of the ballpark here and give him a chance to win the ball game.
Give him an unearned run is all they scored, and the one was on Jimmy Rollins, but then Cliff Lee made one where it looked like he just didn't get plenty of time to just get 1 out. They weren't going to get 2 with Reyes running on that ball, and he hurried to throw to second. Was he off the bag?
He was.
Utley to throw it to Chase Utley to pull him off the bag. But that was a play where if he'd have just set himself a little bit, he had him at second. He knows that.
0-1 the count to Pete Orr. Takes inside. 1-2. Pete's a .283 hitter here in the big leagues. No home runs and 5 runs batted in.
Phillies have 8 extra men, whereas the Marlins have 4.
And they've already used 2 of those 4.
Right. And one of the 2 remaining extra men, of course, is Rob Brantley, their other catcher, which limits what they can do.
It's even 2-2 to Orr. Outside 3-2.
First time this afternoon, really, the shadows probably are not a factor for the hitters. You have the green background with the ivy up there, and then the sun just going off to the right a little bit.
Or grounds one toward the hole, and it sneaks into right. A 2-out single.
Shot by Pete Orr to make contact on a 95 fastball. That was a really good pitch. See Johnson just kind of off. Made my pitch. He found a hole. See if he gets in on him. He didn't hit it real hard, but he hit it in a perfect spot because they were playing him up the middle.
Pete Orr is one of the fastest guys the Phillies have on the roster. He'll take his lead off first with Rollins up there. You think about that when you think about a ball that possibly goes into the corner or into the alleyway. With 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Rollins takes low. It's 1-0.
Yeah, they're not playing any no doubles, don't hit it over my head defense either. So there's some room out there.
Rollins has scored the run for the Phillies this afternoon. He got the first base hit for the Phillies. That was in the 6th. Edwards back without a dive. Mont will pitch the 8th inning for the Phillies. The 7th remains in the hands of Josh Johnson. Well, it looks like Ozzie Guillen has asked Ryan Webb to start warming up.
50 balls, 61 strikes, 111 pitches for big right-hander.
There goes Orr. Pitch is taken low. The throw to second is not in time. And Pete Orr is in scoring position.
Nice job by Pete Orr. You figure he does not have the green light, so they must have put something on, told him to go. Straight steal, of course, with 2 outs, and he beats a good slide of the outside part of the bag.
Also had to hang on to the bag. He was sliding past it. Reyes kept the tag on, so now a base hit should give the Phils the lead. Cliff Lee needs a little luck here. 2-0 the count to Rollins. Rollins hits it in the air, deep to right field. Going back is Stanton. It is gone! 2-run home run for Jimmy Rollins. He did it again. It's 3-1 Phillies here in the bottom of the 7th. There is a little luck left for Cliff Lee.
Yeah, it's a down and in fastball. Left-handed hitter delight. Look at Jimmy. Such a great low ball hitter. Has always been. And look at the dugout reaction. They know that's got a chance. Get up, Roy Halladay said. He knows it's over the outfielder's head. Get up and maybe you get 2 out.
And Sandy Stones of Newfield, New Jersey, you've just won $100. Compliments to the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Oh, that was sweet. Good job by Pete Orr to steal that bag. And
now Pierre the opposite way. Kearns is over and makes the catch. The side is retired, but the damage is done. They come to their feet because the Phillies have taken the lead over the Miami Marlins. In the hunt for another Red October, the Phils get a clutch 2-run home run from Jimmy Rollins. A down-and-in fastball, and he took it for a ride into the sunshine. We go to the 8th inning, and the Phils are on top 3-1 here in Philadelphia.
By AT&T, rethink possible. By McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is $1. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Phillies up 3-1, and that split screen tells a lot of the story today. Jimmy Rollins has scored 2 of the 3 runs. He just drilled a 2-run home run that gave the Phils the lead. And Pedro stole base wheels. That was a big play that inning.
I think it was, Tom, because now you've got the runner in scoring position, and Johnson's going to grind a little bit. The pitch is supposed to be out here, trying to throw a perfect pitch. Where's it come? Down and in, left-handed hitter, especially a guy like Jimmy Rollins. Drop the head on it, 3-1, bam. And by having the runner in scoring position like that, he's trying to make more of a perfect pitch. There's Jimmy. How many times have we seen him get big pitches, big hits, left-handed off low balls like that?
Rollins now at 19 home runs and 60 RBIs at 86 runs scored.
Yep.
Philippe Almont in for the 9th time in the big leagues for the Phillies. First pitch to Solano is in for a strike. It's 0-1.
You know, Jimmy's a little ticked off on himself for making that error in the inning where they got the 1 run. Well, he sure made up for it with that blast. But good job by Pete Orr to come off the bench, get a base hit, and steal that bag.
1-1 the count. Well, the Pigs have risen to the occasion again for the Phillies.
Yeah. Got another one out in the mound right now. You hope he can keep it up, too.
Over to second base. Chase Utley gobbles it up. 1 out here in the 8th. We jokingly say that Pigs have risen to the occasion, but let's face it, a number of the Iron Pigs, the Phil's AAA affiliate, have had a big impact on this run that they've put together in the second half of the season, between Franzen and Kratz to Almont in the bullpen to Freitas, you name it. These guys have, as Roy Halladay said after his last start, the young guys have come in and played every day, and they've been good for us. They've given us a little bit of life, and there's some truth to that.
Yeah, and then you got the red light guys like the shortstop who just loves these kind of games and these kind of situations, and he pops one.
Want to know the count to Reyes with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
And it really helps that you can see now, too, as a hitter.
Well, because of that home run and everyone the Phillies hit this year, and from here on out, 1 tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. For more information, visit Phillies.com/red goes green.
That man's made some living hitting down and in fastballs left-handed.
Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Reyes.
Still see that one Broxton threw him about 99 miles per hour. Looked just like in that same spot when he hit it out there to the Turkey Hill sign and won that playoff game. Basically got the Phillies in the World Series.
Nibble a little bit. The fastball is running outside. It's 3-1 to Reyes.
Just don't want to walk Reyes and get a tying run up there with the 2 guys that are coming next, both who can hit it out. Stanton and Lee.
Ball 4. So Reyes is aboard. A 1-out walk. And Stanton's coming up. Tonight on Sports Night, get highlights and a breakdown of this ball game, plus a look ahead at the Eagles' home opener against the Ravens, and the latest on the NHL negotiations. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sports Night.
I don't think you want to get preoccupied with Reyes over there too in a 2-run game, because next thing you know you fall behind Stanton and look out. Reyes doesn't run the way he used to either. He used to get on first and he'd go to second almost immediately. Just doesn't steal bags the way he used to.
Well, he spent the first part of the first pitch coming in, putting his batting gloves in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Short lead here. And it's 0-2 to Stanton.
Good job by Philippe to get ahead of him. Now you do not have to throw him a strike.
Swing and a miss. He got it with a breaking pitch.
Yep. Don't throw him a strike there. See if he'll chase something. And he sure does. Get ahead of a guy. And what a difference that can make in a hitter. Got ahead of him 0-2. Throw something. Looks like a strike out of his hand there. It looks like a strike. Now it isn't. Perfect slider. The 2 strikes.
2 outs for Carlos Lee. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. The Phillies up 3-1 here at the top of the 8th.
Carlos Lee last time up, first pitch, runner in scoring position. He'll swing. And he'll think about swinging right now to tie the game. This is another. Don't throw a strike to him. At least one that he can really hit. Good baseball games. Charlie's thinking. They have been.
Tried to guide that one over the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-0 now to Carlos Lee.
There's a difference now, 0-2 and 2-0. Now all of a sudden he doesn't have to chase stuff the way that Stanton just did.
Over to shortstop. This should do it. Rollins is there. Plenty of time to get Carlos Lee, and the side is retired. Another easy 8th inning for Phillippe Almond. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Phillies leading it by 2. Appreciation night here at the ballpark. 2013 Phillies schedule magnet free to all fans. A postcard pack featuring the 2012 Phillies highlights free to all fans. Plus traditional prizes and surprises. Order your tickets now at Phillies.com. Bottom of the 8th inning, Phillies up 3-1. Thanks to a 2-run home run by Jimmy Rollins. Ryan Webb is into the ball game for the Marlins. 4-2 with a 4.14 ERA.
Talk about the bridge of Jonathan Papelbon, too. What a job Phillippe monster.
39 strikeouts in 54 to third innings for Ryan Webb. And you're right, Almond has been outstanding. Wheels, they've got LA on the Bongo cam right now here at the ballpark.
Looks like he's using about 6 hands.
Looks like he needed to be coached to do it. He's having sort of a competition against Tommy Hutton, who's to your left, and Rich Walls to your right. They are the television broadcasters for the Miami Marlins. I guess we'll have to call it a draw.
Yeah. I can think you feel a little uncoordinated trying to do that.
Chase Utley leads it off. Utley so far today is 0 for 1. He hit by a pitch and walked. And he fouls the first pitch to the screen. It's 0-1.
Well, the starters are the pitchers of record right now, Cliff Lee and Josh Johnson. Heck of a battle between those two real good pitchers today.
Won the count to Chase. Talked about the Phillies getting to the 500 mark yesterday for the first time since the 4th of June when they were 28-28. Last time they were 1 over 500 was the day before, the 3rd of June.
Seemed like that big a deal at that time, did it?
Didn't seem like a big deal whatsoever.
So hey, just not playing real well right now. They were losing a lot of games late.
And they had beginnings to years that way.
Yep.
So you just felt, all right, well, they'll turn it around. Well, the turnaround began, gosh, it seemed like it began in Milwaukee on the 18th of August. That's when they started to consistently win games. It was a kick in the gut in that series against Atlanta when they lost the 7-3 lead in the 9th inning. And they came back and won 2 of 3 against the Reds. And then this homestand began, and they haven't really looked back on this homestand.
Now they're going to be on the road a lot for the remainder of the season. But what do we figure? 13 out of 20?
13 out of 19.
13 out of 19, right.
It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Utley.
And what that does, it changes the difference on the road because you don't have your closer in there in a tie game in the 9th inning the way you do at home to hold it. Obviously, you don't get the last at bat to walk off. So they have really started to take advantage of the home field here the way they have over the years.
Yeah, the end record is not going to be pretty compared to the other seasons, but they're back to 500 and hoping to get above it here at home with today's game.
So how'd you get there?
Over to first, and a big hop for Carlos Lee. Time now for our Coors Light freeze cam. Chase Utley's had a couple of plays that have looked kind of like this these last couple of days.
Yeah, this is amazing right here. He wants to flip this out of his glove to Jimmy Rollins. He couldn't get it out of the glove, so now he's got to do it that way while he's laying on the ground. Heck of a play. It was nice that Carlos Lee was running there, too.
Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Utley's retired. Howard's up.
Jonathan Papelbon starting to loosen up to come in, pitch the ninth. And no Stanton and no Lee to face. So that's the thing about the guy that pitches the 8th inning for you. Sometimes he may have to face the heart of the order, get the big boys out, and that's what Almont did last inning, getting Stanton and Lee out.
They are just about ready to get underway out in San Diego. The Cardinals and the Padres. Kyle Loesch is scheduled to pitch for the Cardinals in that ball game.
Big game pitcher for them.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
They need somebody to stop the bleeding.
Pittsburgh will face Cincinnati later on. That's an important game from the Phils' perspective. Atlanta and Milwaukee, LA and Arizona. All part of what's developing in this postseason storyline. As Howard strikes out for the second time today. There's Papelbon. There are a lot of guys that are loving this run. Papelbon is one of them.
Well, he's another guy, red light guy at this time of the year. He's used to it all those years with the Red Sox.
Mayberry single to center his last time up. It was an RBI single. It tied the game up at 1, and then the Phillies took the lead with 2 in the 7th.
That may have been the biggest hit of the game for the Phillies, was John able to come up and get that 2-out hit to tie the ball game. Man, Webb really has a good sinker. I think this guy should be a heck of a pitcher. Decent slider too. A heavy sinker. Funky motion. Velocity. Dallas County guy out of the Clearwater area.
Just hasn't had the consistency this year. His ERA over 4.
Yeah, that's, you know, when you don't see a guy that much, you don't know. But when you watch that sinker and the way it dives and as hard as he throws it, you think he should be good. Get a lot of ground balls.
2-1 the count to Mayberry.
To a breaking ball there.
And Mayberry works out a walk. Second walk of the day for John.
Good bat.
Dominic Brown is walking to the plate. Brown has walked. He's grounded out to second, and he ended the 6th with a fielder's choice.
Another time, steal a bag if you could, get into scoring position. 10 out of 13 on Ryan Webb, big tall guy.
Brown tried to hold. He went around. It's 1-1. I think there's also an advantage to the Phillies playing right now and leading. And if they were to hold on, that everybody else still has to play. And they already know the Phillies have won.
Sure. Always nice to throw that one up first. Can't lose any ground when you're on that plane going to another city.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Brown. A liner to center field. He hit that one right on the nose. But the out is recorded by Gorkys Hernandez. So no runs, no hits, 1 man left, and it's Papelbon's turn again. We go to the 9th inning. The Phils looking for their 7th consecutive win. This has been the normal defense for Charlie Manuel late in games recently. Nate Schierholtz goes in to play right field, and Jonathan Papelbon take over on the mound. Schierholtz will bat second, Papelbon will bat ninth, so the moves are straight up for Pierre and for the pitcher. Papelbon tried to pick up his 34th save of the year, and he'll face Austin Kearns, John Buck, and Greg Dobbs. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Miami Marlins. Phillies trying to sweep out the homestand. They took 3 from the Rockies. Now they're trying to take 3 from the Marlins. Reminder, after the ballgame, Ricky Batalco will be along with the Phillies post-game live. He'll break down Cliff Lee's outing. Also talk a little bit about Jimmy Rollins and his home run swing. Watch Phillies post-game live presented by Cure Auto Insurance right here after the game. Kearns, Buck, and Dobbs. Phil's trying to get over the 500 mark. Cut the lead to 3.5 and then sit and wait in the wild card. Kearns takes strike one. It's 0-1. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Papelbon was firing last night. His fastball at 95 miles an hour. He looked refreshed. He looked strong. Over his last 23 appearances, excuse me, his ERA is 0.79. Now the 1-1 pitch coming to Austin Kearns. The pitch hit him? It did. It hit him right in the elbow. So a leadoff base runner here in the 9th. And Buck is coming up.
It's a fastball that came running right at Austin Kearns and nipped his elbow. Well, it's easy for us to say nipped it. Hit him on the elbow. Couldn't have felt good. Closers are really not put on this earth to retire the side in order. Firmly convinced of that after all these years of watching baseball games.
Yeah, there are very few that have been able to do that.
He did it last night.
Mariano Rivera is probably the closest thing to it.
Amen. There's one guy you talk about you think that would do it. It seemed like he did it a lot. I don't know if you were to talk to their people. Maybe he had base runners too, but it just seemed like he did. But not many guys do. There's always drama.
0-1 the count to Buck. Buck is 0 for 2. He walked his last time. Foul ball. That was a slider from Papelbon.
Jonathan's not a guy that throws a lot of ground balls necessarily, but if he could get one here, Buck being one of those guys who could double easily. They're going to guard the line with Martinez, so there's a big hole for him on the left side. Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley playing up the middle. They'll take 2 if they can get it, but they want an out more than anything. That's why they're a little bit deeper than double play depth and a slow runner. There you go. 3 double plays and 33 opportunities. Jonathan, you think of him more as a strikeout fly ball type guy. He called split there.
Here is the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 94 on a rising fastball. One away.
That was a real quick one. He must put down to Aaron Kratz, and he got him to Chase, and that baby had some giddy up. Supposed to be away a little bit, but it was a good high fastball, and he just beat him with it.
8 strikeouts for Phillies pitching today. Dobbs is up.
put the third baseman on the line, even though he's a left-handed hitter, because he hit so many balls that way. And you'll see Martinez is over there, and Ryan Howard holding the runner on at first, sorta, and guarding the line that way on the pull side.
Pitcher spot is up next. It's Brian Peterson who's come out of the on-deck circle. With a runner at first, one man down, Dobbs is up. And the pitch. Fly ball, foul territory, third base side. Martinez over, and he runs out of room. Gosh, it seems like we had the same play last night.
Yeah, that was a little deeper.
Oh, 1 ball and 1 strike to count now to Dobbs with 1 out. Well, this is a bullpen that has been much maligned most of this year. Not lately, though. They've been as good as you will find in baseball. That's the pitch he got Dobbs with last night. This one had a little more of the plate, but it had really good depth on it. The split-fingered fastball. Watch it go down.
This got some biter. It's a strike, and then it isn't.
$42,178. You can only imagine what the last homestand is going to be like if the Phillies are still within reach. The 1-2 pitch coming to Dobbs. On the inside corner, called strike 3.
That was a heck of a pitch, because Greg Dobbs is looking away there, figuring the pitch is going to be away from him, and Papelbon just busts the fastball in, and that's a strike. Just an outstanding pitch by Papelbon. That is right there on maybe the corner, maybe even further on the plate, but it's a strike.
Cliff Lee trying to pick up his 5th win of the year. When he was pinch hit for, there were 2 outs, and the Phillies were tied at 1. And then Pete Orr sneaked a base hit to right and then swiped second. And then Rollins homer to give the Phillies the lead. And now Papelbon's trying to preserve it. Brian Peterson, the pinch hitter, stands in. Takes inside. It's 1-0. Chants are getting a little louder here at the ballpark. The chants of "Let's go Phillies" as that pitch was thrown by Jonathan Papelbon. Austin Kearns is on first. He was hit by a pitch to start the 9th inning.
Good job by Peterson. Just trying to get on base. Pitches are missing away.
Ball 4, so runners on first and second with 2 outs. As he walked him on 4 pitches. Michael Martinez is about a step from the third base bag. Howard is back behind the first base bag. Hernandez is 0 for 4 today. 2 on, 2 outs here at the top of the ninth. Papelbon throws a breaking pitch for strike one. It's 0-1.
They threw all fastballs to Peterson and missed with all of them.
Now the 0-1 pitch coming. Pratt sets up outside. On the outside corner, 0-2. What a sight to be seen.
It's nice to feel the butterflies again.
Yeah. It's nice to see folks standing at the end of ball games. The volume is picked up here at the ballpark on this homestand. 0-2 the count to Gorkys Hernandez with 2 outs here at the top of the ninth inning. The runners lead off, and Papelbon is ready. Here's the pitch. A little high. And they'll do it again. I mentioned it's going to be great if the Phillies are still within reach. The final 6 games, the buzz here in this ballpark, there's nowhere in the National League, there's nowhere in baseball that it's better. He had the last shot. He had it sized up and ready to go.
Yeah, but he just gave a big exhale too. That's a feeling right now. 9 balls, 9 strikes in this inning. A little bit of an adventure. One more strike, be sweet.
One and 2 the count. Everybody's set. And Papelbon delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him. 95 on the gun. Jonathan Papelbon saves the day for the Phils here in the top of the ninth inning, and the Phillies have swept out the homestand. They've won 7 consecutive games. They put themselves back in the race for a playoff spot, and they win it today by a final of 3-1. And you can feel the energy in the ballpark again. They've been waiting all year for this, and it's taken till September. Jimmy Rollins, well, what can you say? He had a tremendous homestand. It's all part of what has been a 6-0 homestand, among the best here at Citizens Bank Park and in Philadelphia history. The Phillies win it 3-1. They're now within 3.5 games of the wild card. And Cliff Lee is our Chevrolet player of the game.
He was outstanding here today.